Hi everybody, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface with part 3 of my guide for the Pitioss secret dungeon in Final Fantasy 15, and that was where I left it at the end of yesterday's video. But before I continue, just a little something. Remember this room here? Well, yesterday I thought I got everything in this area. I was pretty convinced, to be honest with you. And then because I'm spending quite a bit of time here trying to find every nook and a cranny, I actually discovered a new area. When you jump onto here, just turn around. I couldn't believe it. Right in front of you, there's a big ass balcony. So leap across there, follow it around. Got a couple more jumps. Nothing really, to pick up at the moment. But if you look across, there's at least a couple of items. In actual fact, there are 3 items in total here, including quite a nice one. So first of all, we've got the green choker, and then if we leap across after we've just scaled this girder and then jump there, I think we're going to pick up a radiant lance. Yeah, there you go. So that's rather nice indeed. And then if you've seen the pickup so far, not many of you will be surprised, more ascension coins. So there you go. If you haven't found that before, or if you haven't done that bit, you can always nip back, do it, grab 3 more items, and you can still get out the dungeon, no problem. So, with that done, let's return to where I left things off yesterday and continue our journey. And today, and yes, I will show you how to get that open, is a nightmare, because now the dungeon gets really, really dark, and not only that, it goes on a horrific gradient. So, a couple of things, if you just follow the pathway that I'm going down, a couple of things I need to go through. First of all, I don't think, in actual fact I know so, that I'm going to get all the loot today. The last 2 videos, if you include the amendment that I added today, I'm pretty sure I got everything. And if you think I missed something on the first video, no, that actually works into the 4th video, but don't worry about it. I'm pretty sure I got everything. Today, I know for a fact I miss at least 3 things. So there are 3 pieces of loot. 1 I could get, but for the sake of making this guide, there was no point in me wasting time going over and over and over it, so I just left it behind, but you can see where the item is. And then there's a couple of items which I'll also show you, which I really don't have a clue how to get. So if anyone out there knows, do let me know, preferably by the medium of video. It's very difficult to kind of explain this stuff here, but if you just follow what I've done so far. Now, I'm going to pick up commentary now, because things get a little bit tricky. Just allow yourself to fall down there. Do not jump. If you jump, because of the nature of the gradients of these items, you will actually fly off the edge. You'll literally just go miles out there and just plummet to your doom. So don't do that. Just drop off that point and then follow it around down here. So yes, the dungeon has got significantly darker. No lights of any kind of mass variety apart from the one that you have on your chest piece. And yeah, it gets a little bit creepy. To be perfectly honest with you, because you feel very, very, very isolated. And the fact that everything's at a cock angle, yes, it's not good. So, because I've already told you, I don't do well with heights and stuff like that in reality, and even in stuff like this, it gets my heart kind of a pumping. If at any time, like me, I'm quite happy to admit that I'm a massive pussy when it comes to this kind of thing. If you start to get a little bit nervous like I did in some quarters and feel yourself tensing up, I constantly felt my shoulders tensing up and my fingers getting a wee bit sweaty Betty. Just stop. Just stop. Take your hands off the controller. Put the controller down. Just stretch your arms out. Relax for a bit. Just let that tension drop. And then you can just pick stuff up and get back going again. A little bit tricky here. Jump across to the side there. Now then, we've got a couple of pieces of loot here. And this jump, you can make it as easy as you like. First of all, if you jump too high, which I'm going to do, you're just going to totally miss this area. Look, way! Totally missed it. That was way too high of a jump. What you need to do is go about halfway up between the top and where the block is, and then leap. There you go. Rather easy. If you just get the right angle of gradient that you walk up the wall with. So turning back on myself. Go back down again. We've got some breathing because we've got some horrible stuff coming up now. We've got to walk out onto this girder here, and there, just black, just the void in front of us. Leap across here, and then turn to the left, walk, and then drop down. No jumping, just drop. And then just turn to the right, walk across, and then drop. No jumping. I can't stress this enough. No jumping, just let yourself drop. And now, the most horrific of all. You can continue down there, but look at this. This girder just jutting out in the middle of nowhere. Can you jump on it? Will you just bounce off it? No, you can jump on it. Now, just very carefully make your way up. Before you think, oh God, I've wasted my time, turn around and look. There is a wall that you can jump on, and this is just full of loot. Grab that, but be careful. And then as you start to very slowly make your way up, look at all this loot to pick up. Rare coins, ascension coins, little scraps, potions, blah, blah, blah. They're all here. And it doesn't stop. In actual fact, after we've picked up all these little pieces, we're going to go through another smaller area going up and up and up. And that too is just full of loot. And this will eventually lead us out to where that demonic tombstone was. So that's how we're going to smash our way back here. It took me ages to discover this. I have to say, I kept bypassing that girder. I never ever thought anything of that girder. The angle that it was at, I always thought if you tried to make a jump onto it, you'd, you know, just literally hit it and fall down to your death. So I never even attempted it. And then one day I was just like, because I'd worked out that I was actually going back on myself. And then I thought, maybe this girder, you know, I always said if there's a shelf, it means there's something to do in this dungeon. There isn't just like shells for shits and giggles. These shells are very strategically placed. So I thought that girder just seems a little bit too conspicuous. And lo and behold, this is where it took me. So climb up to the top, and there is the demonic tombstone. So just smash through that. Bang. You've opened up the area. Bad news is, you're back at the start again. So you have to do all that horrible stuff, which you've already seen me do, to get back to where we were. So I'm going to fast forward. That's the girder that you jump on to change direction. So now that we've gone up there and taken everything that needs to be taken, we are going to continue on our merry way. So that means going in this direction here. And then suddenly, when we get round the corner, things are going to take a little bit of a weird turn. It does get very kind of psychedelic here because of all the angles that this room is in and such. And then round here now, you can see there's another rotating cylinder. Now I'm trying to jump on it without that nook, and then I'm going to keep on bouncing till I get round, because now we've got a fixed camera. We have a fixed camera, and it really looks like we're in some sort of odd platforming game that some indie studio has made, and it looks very stylized and cool. But no, we cannot change the camera angle. The camera angle is going to follow us when we push forward. So here, you can come out on this ledge and jump across. There is a piece of loot there. There's 10 fossils. Very nice indeed. And then there's another piece of loot. But you are still in 3D. So you may have to walk towards the screen to discover where to pick things up. Now, I tried to jump on the top there. I should have made it. It was a bit daft to me. And if I jumped on there, you saw there was a piece of loot. But just for the sake of constraints on time, I picked up the other one, threw myself off the edge. Because if you throw yourself off the edge, you'll always come back to the beginning. So I just wanted to give myself a second bite of that cherry. Spoilers, I failed again. So I decided to carry on. So there is another piece of loot there, which is easy to get. But I was just not obviously quite on form with this one. Failed. So I decided to keep on my merry way. Try and keep the video down. Because obviously this is quite a big place with lots of stuff for us to do. So I just wanted to push on. No loot over there, so you can jump down and then jump down again, and then you can slide down under there. Piece of loot again for you to grab. Yoink, if you can find it. Where is it? It's in that corner over there. You see, it's still quite difficult to work out where stuff is based off the angle. And then here, well, again, you should have seen what I was able to do. Jump in and then jump onto the top again. That's what, there you go. Nice and easy. That's all I needed to do on the other side as well. For some reason failed. And that time, for some reason, fell off the edge. Alright, maybe you should have breathalyzed me before I recorded this. I had one beer, I promise you, it was just the one. So get back onto the top. And then I'm going to wait for the big slab to come down this time. There you go. Because there wasn't any items on the other slab, so there's no point. Again, that time I wanted to jump inside of, like, the Pac-Man's mouth. That's what we'll call them. We'll call them Pac-Man. And then you have to wait until the mouth comes on the other side. There, look at that. Cheeky woo. Probably a piece of gear over there on the right-hand side. So let's notch another piece of gear there. So there's a couple of pieces that I've definitely missed today, but, you know. I think, considering how much loot we are getting, we can let the odd piece or two bypass us. And there's another piece out here. Let's grab that one. I'm just going to put lots of loot in the title today, not all the loot. And then make your way down here. It looks so cool. You feel quite safe here as well. It's one of the rare moments in this dungeon that you actually feel a little bit secure. Which is always very unnerving, and considering the next area that we're going to go to, probably a false sense of security as well. No loot here, so let's just slide down to the bottom. I was desperately trying to see if there was a way through, because you can see that there's a balcony above, just below, so I was wondering if there's an area that you could slide in and then drop down into, but no. And then here, look at the ground. And see where there isn't any floor. You got to jump over. So here, there you can see where I am by the flashlight. Peekaboo. So you got to jump over again. Be careful for bricks that we can't see because of the angle. And then get inside. Make sure you don't go too far. Jump again. And then one more jump. If you fail that, you will go right back to the beginning of that platforming section. So for goodness sake, that's the kind of like the final difficult bit, so don't muck it up. And then lots of loot here. Lots of loot just scattered on this floor here before we go into the next area, which is another badonkers one. Absolutely freaking crazy. But before we do start the next section, as I'm running back now, I'm just making sure that everything's been got, making sure I'm not procking any more loot. No, okay, through the alleyway we go. Before I do start the next section, I'm going to show you a couple of pieces. These are the two pieces I have no idea how to get. The two pieces that we've missed so far, I could get, I just didn't for the sake of time. So we could class those as got pieces of loot. But here, there's a piece there. There's a piece at the other side. I know that if you look up there, there's like an opening at the top, but you can't jump into that. No chance in hell. I've got no idea. I've got, honest to God, no idea how to get there. I'm sorry, people. I've tried. And I think it's got something to do... This is going to freak some people out now if you haven't done this already. With the fact that this room rotates. Yes, this room is going to start rotating. And that may give you the angle to go back. Like, now it's rotated. I did manage to jump back onto the girder and go back, but... nothing. It was still impossible to get through. So I'm just going to go through this as I would normally. Drop down, go to the right and drop down. No jumping. You jump too far and you go flying off the map. Follow it up and then walk onto that platform then. Now you can do a jump, get to the top here, leap over, and then run down into the corner. Because now it's starting to move. This is turning. And then be very careful here. You see that notch out at the bottom? If you don't time your jump precisely, you'll plunge through it to your death. But once you have made the jump, charge down into that nook there. Otherwise, because the room is rotating, you will get pushed down and you might bounce off and then fly off and da-da-da-da-da. So once you're in there, again, drop down. Don't jump. And then just do what you've seen here. Now, I'm going to force the room to rotate. You can see the room rotating by the left-hand side. And then now it's started to rotate. I'm going to go back on myself. So go back here. Go back up there. It's still rotating. You've got to keep on moving because the gradient, again, will allow you to slide off if you stay there. So I've just changed my angle. So I'm now back on top. And then I'm going to jump over there to the right-hand side platform. Leap. And then it's going to start moving again, rotating again. Oh my giddy aunt. But I'm going to stay here, and then we rest next to this woman's ample bosom, which we are going to jump onto. Yoink. So jump on her tits, and then look at this. Oh my god. Yeah, it absolutely freaked me out the first time that I did this. But before we proceed, move between her breasts. Suddenly got a bit dirty. And then pick up the piece of loot that's in her belly button, and then start running up her left arm. When you get to the bangle or the shackle, whatever it may be, leap over it, because if you bounce into it, there is actually a good chance that your character will just fly off to the right hand side. And now we've got a horrific leap of faith. Stay straight. That isn't a sexuality gag. And then bang. If you just keep on the straight track there, you'll land, you'll take a hefty bit of damage, but you will at least be alive. And then moving forward automatically starts this elevator, which takes us up. But we do have some reward when we get to the top, because if you turn around to the right hand side, or the area that takes us out, it's actually behind us. Look at all this loot on the ground. Yes, it's rewarding us before we have to do another horrible bit. It's kind of like, here's a treat. Now go play with some scissors and some, you know, water and the toaster. And you just know that's not going to end well. So leap out onto this big girder and make your way up. Sticking to the right-hand side. Don't go up that left girder. So just continue to walk now. Pick up the items that you come across. And then just let yourself drop off. Don't jump. Just let yourself drop off. Just even watching it on video makes me freak out. Follow around where I'm going now. And then jump to the other side. This is where I just had to stop for a bit, because I just had to put the pad down. This is where I was just getting so stressed. My shoulders were so tense. I just had to stop. I just had to put the controller down for a moment, just to compose myself, recompose myself, and then pick it back up again. And then we're going to leap back over to the left-hand side. Now we'll grab that piece of loot. You see where it just juts off here? Jump towards the wall. There we go. Now make your way up the wall, and then just carefully, no jumping now, carefully onto there. Now it's easy just to go running up here on the left-hand side, but stop. Come back, and then just walk on top there. Look at that. There's another piece of loot just carefully hidden away round the corner. Back up we go. Turn around and walk up as, I would say, as carefully as you can. There's no rush here. No rush. Don't do anything stupid. Come to the edge of the girders. Turn to face the demonic statue. Leap over onto the demonic statue. That piece of loot's in a horrible place, but if you're feeling brave, you can get it. It's a golden hourglass. And then just walk down. Again, no jumping. Just keep on walking to get to the top of this girder. We're going to have to jump across. Jump across. Bang. Oi. Now walk up to the top. It's terrible, isn't it? And then turn 180. Do it. Come on. You can do it, Az. There you go, man. Turn 180 and then jump on top of there. Run up about halfway and then turn back around again. And then you can see a platform to leap across. Ladies and gentlemen, the worst of it, I'm very pleased to say, is over. Now, just one more little trick not to fall for. This. To your left is nothingness. Don't get too cocky that you had a couple of rooms there. Just follow it around now, and you're going to find yourself in a very, very interesting position indeed. We get the chest. We hit the button to open the door, and look, it's right back at the beginning. And that is where we're going to pick it up tomorrow, because there's still some bits to do. But we're at the beginning section again, but now we've started to open up other avenues for us to explore. So I will finish off the rest of the stuff then. So I really hope that you enjoyed the vid. If you did, do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel. Follow me on social media and Twitch for live streaming. Links, they're in the description down below. And I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. You take care, everybody. Bye-bye. Hi everybody, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface with part 2 of my dungeon guide for the Pitioss dungeon, the secret dungeon in Final Fantasy 15.